The second segment of the Nightly News is brought to you by Labrie Credit Union. Labrie Credit Union. We are not a bank. We are better.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. St. Lucia is now at the 6-month point since the introduction of the COVID-19 vaccine. Since then, St. Lucia has been able to partially vaccinate 18.9% of the population with the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, and 14.8% have been fully vaccinated with both doses. Current figures indicate that as of the 18th of August 2021, 34,195 first doses and 26,820 second doses of the vaccine have been administered in St. Lucia. Immunization Manager Tekla Jabatis gave an update.
Over the last 2 weeks, St. Lucia has witnessed a significant and worrying increase in the number of individuals who have been confirmed as having COVID-19. Through the support of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, we have also been able to confirm the presence of the Delta variant in our country. The presence of this variant increases the rate at which this virus spreads and causes worse health outcomes for the people who acquire the virus.
On Tuesday, the 17th of August, St. Lucia received a generous donation of 52,650 doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine from the government of the United States of America. The donation was facilitated through CARICOM and CARPHA. The donation of vaccines will complement the AstraZeneca vaccine and make available an additional choice of vaccines for the people of St. Lucia. Both vaccines are effective against the COVID-19 virus and its variants.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs is committed to ensuring that vaccines are available to all who are eligible to receive them. Vaccination will continue at the various vaccination sites and wellness centers across the island, alongside the mobile vaccination drive in communities. In the coming weeks, vaccines will also become available at selected private sector health facilities. As of Monday, 23rd August 2021, the Pfizer vaccine will be available at the vaccination sites for persons 12 years and older. Parents or guardians should accompany their children under 18 years. Vaccinating your children will protect them from COVID-19 infection, particularly the Delta variant, which is known to cause serious infection in young people.
That was Immunization Manager Tekla Jabatis. St. Lucia has been experiencing spurts of torrential rain for the past few days. The director of the St. Lucia Met Services, Andre Joye, on Thursday explained that the rains are as a direct result of a tropical wave.
The system is expected to affect us for most of today. And since the region is pretty moist, we're expecting wet conditions through the weekend.
St. Lucia is set for a very active hurricane season. Joye says members of the public should continue to ensure that they pay attention to weather advisories. He also says individuals who live in flood-prone areas should always be cautious.
We are in the rainy season, and over the weekend, last weekend, we had some significant showers. We had over 3 inches of rainfall in the Castries area. So based on the soil type and that amount of rainfall, any further rains during this week could cause land slippage. So persons should be cautious.
He advised those living in low-lying areas to ensure that they are updated with weather reports and are aware of any weather systems approaching.
You should always be cognizant of the fact that even once you have tropical waves, as small as tropical waves, you could get significant rainfall. Because when we give out a prediction, it is for the general area, but mountainous regions would actually get a little more rainfall. It would be caused by the orographic lift. So mountainous areas would get more rainfall, and that could cause rivers to swell and overflow their banks. So persons in low-lying areas should always be cautious because of possibilities of flooding. And since they're the first ones to be affected, they should always be on their guard.
A tropical wave will continue to cause cloudy conditions with showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly over the central portion of the Lesser Antilles, all of Thursday, and 2 other tropical waves located over the central and eastern tropical Atlantic are moving westward at about 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour. During a press conference with Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and Minister Moses Jabatis, that should be Health Minister Moses Jabatis, the possibility of a travel ban was explored. Given the recent uptake in numbers of COVID-19 cases being recorded here on island, many have suggested that the island's borders be closed. The minister addressed what may come in the future as it relates to St. Lucia's borders.
Members of the Command Center are meeting, and as soon as the meeting is over, a report will be sent to the Prime Minister, and the people of St. Lucia should expect further announcements later today or early tomorrow morning. As we speak, I repeat, the Command Center, members of the Command Center are in a meeting, and they are discussing the issues, the recent developments in relation to COVID-19.
Sporting veteran Joseph Reds Pereira has high expectations of the new Youth and Sports Minister Kenson Casimir, and he is dishing out some advice to help him get the sporting sector to the level that it should be. Pereira sat with Hot 7 TV News on Thursday and indicated his belief that Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has placed Kenson Casimir in the perfect position.
I think the Honourable Kenson is an excellent choice, and congratulations to the Honourable Prime Minister for appointing a young man. He is the second young sports minister in the region, the other being from Guyana, the Honourable Charles Ramson, and it's nice to see a young man who has a strong sporting background, who really is keen in sport, getting an opportunity to make a difference.
Pereira says Casimir needs to take into account the task ahead and approach it with due care. He had a few suggestions for the minister.
There are some things that he might need to reshape his own Ministry of Sport, which he's now inheriting. And he needs to look at maybe the Mendo Philip Park, which is a great drain on the Ministry of Sport and their coffers, and maybe tie that in with a private sector. So like the Mendo Philip Park in association with X. And the same thing could be done for the Darusami Cricket Ground. It could be the Darusami Cricket Ground in association with an international name. And these are things which are possible if they are tackled early. I think that he has an excellent chance of doing well, but it's not an easy job because he's not inheriting a strong sporting structure.
The sportsman went on to say that though the process may be slow and difficult, the minister should press forward.
I think it will take time. It will take time. You need the focus on the coaching. You need more activity. We have lost the road running in St. Lucia. Our athletes need to be running more often, even in COVID times. And COVID times is going to have an impact on the job of the minister, because you can't have a great deal of activity. But in the meantime, you can plan. And I think the early months of his office, he will look to try and improve the structure, the base. And if he can improve the base in 2022, hopefully we can have maybe a real drop in the number of cases where sport will be played, even contact sport. And I think it will be maybe an opportunity to start seeing the results then.
That was Joseph Reds Pereira. The St. Lucia National Insurance Corporation, NIC, has appointed a new chairman in the person of Everstus Jamari. The new appointment replaces former chairman Anthony Isaac and deputy chairman Frank Myers, who both resigned within the days of the Alan Shastney administration's defeat at the general election. Jamari, who previously served as NIC chairman under the last Labour administration, has been reappointed as the chairman of the NIC board. Jamari brings with him a wealth of experience, having served on the board of several statutory bodies in St. Lucia, and is a former independent senator of the St. Lucia Senate and chair of the ACP EU Parliamentary Assembly Economic and Political Committees. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. There's more news after the break.
The second segment of the Nightly News was brought to you by Labrie Credit Union. Labrie Credit Union. We are not a bank. We are better.